Blue Velvet, I watch Blue Velvet, and it's like, okay, this is a story that at least I can follow. There's a beginning, a middle, and end, and it has a plot line, and an arc that I can pretty much, follow and comprehend. But it's like, but in between there, where we get from A, B, C to D to E to F to G, it's like he keeps throwing us these curveballs as I'm watching. I'm like going, whoa, whoa, wait, what the hell just happened there? This isn't a paint by numbers movie. This is a David Lynch movie. Anything can happen.
And that's good.
That's
good.
But
be
he
creative.
makes it
It's
work.
a creative art. It's a film. It's a creative thing. And
He keeps
Lynch
it from
definitely
getting boring.
makes it creative.
But it's like Mulholland Drive. I watched that film where it's like about interdimensional change. And where this guy slides into another dimension, then slides back to this one. I was like watching that, going, man, this is actually pretty good stuff. This is pretty interesting, Usually, when I watch most movies, I'm just bored to tears. I'm watching it, I'm like going, what? Okay, I know what's going to happen next. I know what's going to happen out of this. I know what's going to happen there. I'm watching this stuff. It's like, oh man, it's like, this is this is just off the radar screen. This is really interesting. And I wish more filmmakers would, be willing to fall on their faces. And Lynch does fall on his face with a lot of his work, in my opinion. I didn't like Eraserhead that much. I thought The Elephant Man, I thought it was good, but I didn't love the film. But I did love Blue Velvet. I did love Mulholland Drive. I did love Wild at Heart. Even though I didn't think Wild at Heart was great, but, it was at least... it was at least something I wanted to watch again after I watched it once. I wanted to see it the next day. That's a good compliment for a movie.
Oh, most definitely. That's definitely. I say, how good was it? I wanted to watch it again immediately the next day. That's high praise for a movie.
Yeah.
You just want to you rent the DVD, you watch it that night. You might want to wake up early just to watch it again before you return it.
The last Star Trek movie I saw was just played it so safe. It was so paint by the numbers. It was so predictable. It's like, after I walked out of the theater, I remember feeling myself really empty and cheated, And I remember thinking to myself, what just happened in that movie? And I couldn't even remember 2 minutes after walking out of the film. I just didn't even care. It's like, not only didn't I want to watch it the next day, it's like I couldn't even remember much about it 2 minutes after I walked out of the film. It's like my mind just said, "Oh, get that out of here! Gone, enough, yuck."
So the worst compliment to watching a movie is, I forgot what I just watched for 2 hours. Bad movie, bad.
2 minutes after I walked out.
Well, we're going to switch. We're going to get a little philosophical here on this next question. It's going to be Einstein. We're going to go with Einstein, yeah. He said everything is relative to your perspective. Now, this is, I guess, where the villain thinks that he's doing the right thing in what he does and what he's doing.
Yeah, and writers need to remember that when they're telling a story. It's interesting because, you look at one of the classics, Shane, for example. Riker, who plays the heavy and the villain in the story, he sees himself not as the villain. The other people coming in after him as the bad guys. And he, and it was interesting listening to him talk about that. It's like, he sounds kind of right, as he's talking about it. It's like, I'm listening to that. It's like, yeah, he's making some good points. These people did come in after him. They didn't have to rawhide it through the hard times like they did. They tamed and settled this country. And now these people, basically, he feels they're getting a free ride on his back. And to some extent, he's not completely wrong, but at the same time, it's like these other people have just as much right to exist and prosper as you do. You see what I'm saying? And to me, but it was interesting the fact that he didn't really want to kill these people or bully them for the sake of killing them and bullying them. It's a matter of limited resources. We don't have a lot of water in this region, and there isn't enough to go around for everyone. So someone's got to lose. So he's kind of a villain who doesn't really want to be a bad guy. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't enjoy hurting people. And to me, that made him such a more interesting character than just your evil laugh, Dr. Evil type of villain.